Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be working on the prompt Autumn Birds for the Roxy Journal of Stitchery project. Volume 6, I believe. Gosh, time has flown. So where are we up to now? In my Seaside journal is the one I want to work on today. I've put in my leaves. They're in position with my little bird. What do I need to tell you about that? I end up adding this additional flower, excuse me, and I didn't make any more of that little crochet gathered tuft. I sort of felt like 1, 2, 3, that was enough, and then the leaves become the repetitiveness of the piece. I do want to put some lace at some point down into that gap of the spine, and then these will be attached to that, so everything will sit really nicely in the actual journal. I added some extra stitches around just to sort of soften the image with some little fly stitches. Now, what else did I do? We've done that. We're doing, I think, this page, which I've got my piece ready, and we're doing an owl. Now, so that I can save a little bit of time, I've got my owl onto my piece of fabric. So let me show you where he came from. This is the book, Trish Burr's Embroidery Transfers. I've used quite a few pieces out of this book. It's really beautiful. Not only does it give you the transfers, which of course I haven't actually used them from the book. I've just photocopied and then traced. So that's the little owl. So just increased him in size, because the owl in this book is a little fella. Where is he? There he is there, stitched. He's in here a few times, stitched different ways. She's very clever. There he is. So you can see I needed him a little bit bigger for my project. So that's 1.5 times. So on my printer, I just increased my image by 150, and that's the size that come out. Then before I attach this piece of calico to the little piece of wadding, which has got a little invisible stitch around the perimeter, I just slid this under and I was able to see the image through. Went around with my friction pen. We're ready to roll. Now, before we get started, I want to show you that same owl that I did. Oh my gosh, it's probably volume 1 of the Roxy Journal of Stitchery project. Glamorous little owl. So that's him there. Similar size by the looks of it. Yeah. Yep, similar size. So this little fella, he's been stitched once before, and I just love him. He just works up beautifully. So I thought, I'm going to do him again. What will I repeat? I really love how the eyes came about. Lots of stitches outlined with the chocolate. It really, really worked. So I'll be hard pushed not to repeat the eyes on this next one. As for all of the feathers, the plumage, that's where we're going to explore today. So let's put that journal away. And I want him to be a little bit on the grungy side. So I've just grabbed my scrap bucket here. I'm not going to rummage. I'm just going to pull it all out. I don't know what colour scheme yet. I just thought I'm going to just take those scraps, put the whole lot on the bench, and we'll see what comes of it. Okay, now, where's my little owl? There's my scraps. Oh, I love doing this stuff. So, now, why did I choose an owl? I can hear an owl of an evening out the back of out the back of the house, and I haven't yet spotted him. He's going to be tricky because I've got a national park behind our property, and yeah, he's being a little elusive. I'm just going to start sneezing. One moment, guys. Okay, I'm back. Oh my goodness, it must have been the lint that came off of this that just went poof up into my face. So what are we going to do? what colour our autumnal. I was looking at these blues, but no, we need to go autumnal. What else we got in here? A few greens. That's pretty. That's Pepper barking. Oh, goodness me, I better go. I'll show you why in a moment. Back in a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Oh my goodness, talk about a slow start to this video. Now, the reason I jumped up and checked why Pepper was barking is about an hour ago, she was barking and I went out just to double check because I don't like her barking at any walkers. And in the distance I could see some dingoes. They're a fair distance and I've had to zoom in, but I just thought I'll show you the photos. So there's the one walking off. She's around this side of the house now, so she's just barking at someone on the footpath. Gosh, obnoxious. I wish she wouldn't do it. Bandit's like not interested in barking. He does at night if there's something around. Look at that beautiful dingo. He spotted me there and then he was like quick to head off. But sitting just off that photo was a second one, much bigger dog. And look at him. He's just sitting there resting on the sand and now he's pegged me. So the pair of them came out of the bush and that's why she was having a good woof. We had a very high tide. There it is, walking off. That's a big dog. Yeah, we had a very high tide. You can see water laying in the back there yesterday. So my guess is they're just scouting the area looking for any crabs or fish that may have got stranded. So be some pickings there. Of course, Pepper has spotted it. Gosh, they're beautiful dogs. Yeah, very timid. As soon as they saw me, they sort of lurched off into the distance. So yeah, so when I heard her bark again, I thought, oh my goodness, here we go, they're back. But no, it was a gentleman and his little fluffy dog. Okay, where was I? To me, that looks a bit feathery. I'm wondering if that could be the centre of his tummy. Sort of looks like it could be something. Will I follow the lines exactly? Probably not, but it'll give me a bit of a shape. So I'm wondering if I can trim this piece to give us a bit of a, I don't know, let's go. Let's just chop. Let's get this belly of his sorted first. So I'm just going to lay the pieces down. I didn't quite make his tummy, but that's okay. I need bigger scissors, so it's going to take forever to do it. Let's get this in position. I think that's pretty good. Maybe a bit of a shape there. It gives us a start. And I like how we've got a little bit of a shadowing movement on his tummy there. I just pin that. So let's bring in some side pieces of feathers, and I think that's not going to cut it. We've gone more earthy. Let's pull out some earthy tones. This stuff frays a lot, but I do love its colour. That's pretty close. That's in the family. Anything else? It's funny how you pick that one piece and then it just locks in your colour palette. There's our camel pants. It's nice and autumnal. Oh, we've got a bit of velvet. I know where there's more of that. That might be something. I don't mind that combination there. All right, let's start with that. Is there more of this kicking around? Probably not. So one needs to be mindful of quantity left. Let's maybe leave that till the top layer. Let's get this on. We're just going to guesstimate some shapes here. Let's get a bit of a peak. Yeah. So let's get a second one. Flip it over to get the reverse side. Whether this is a big enough, oh, I nearly said petal, leaf, feather. We're talking feathers, plumage. So let's get that in there, that in there. Okay. Now let's see if we can get 2 out of this. Right sides together should work, shouldn't it? Leave plenty of height on it because we can always shorten things. It's got a very straight side to it. Maybe that comes up higher. It's only a little piece. Does it go there or does it go? All right, I'm liking that. This velvet. That velvet would be good for up in his eyebrows. Wonder if I can slither off a piece here. Exaggerated somewhat. Let's take that lower. Let's follow Trish Burr's lead there and get at least the right shape where we can. Oh, this is the tiniest amount. I know I've got more of this, but let's see what we can do out of this tiny little amount. Come on, can we do it? Oh, it's so close. It's just not quite. Let's do it like that. Oh, that's close. Give it a go. He's going to be very textural, this young owl. Something like that. Now I can trim this a little bit better. Something like that. There we go. Hello. Yeah, I like that. I feel like I need more down here. Do we bring this in? It's very strong. Something like this might be good for his beak, which is sort of that shape. Not really, but sort of. That looks like a beak. Yeah, I've got a beak. He's quite a powerful looking fellow, isn't he? Back to the leaves. What else can we bring in? Bit of music. Look, we got this brown. Don't mind the look of that. What shape are we trying to achieve? Or are we going under? We're doing that shape there. Let's just wing it. wing it. Let's go under there with that. And then that lies on top. It's a bit powerful. I'm not convinced. What about a green? Got another tartan. Maybe you try this little guy. Try cutting out the same shape because it wasn't bad shape-wise. Tartan bird. That's not bad. That's not bad. Nearly feels a bit bold too. Changing the whole design here. Like, I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that. Just altering the design slightly. Let's get a second, nearly said leaf again. A second feather out of this. It's too big for the owl's body at this stage, but we can trim it down when we're ready. I'd rather have it big and give me options. And if he gets a bit bigger on the actual branch, I'm okay with that because that would trim back to there. Yeah, I like that. Definitely. That's really good. And we get some lighter plumage coming up through here. I'm happy with that. All right, so I've got ourselves a few feathers. Let's get a bit of a point on that. It seems to have lost its shape. And we want it coming down a little bit. Maybe we do that. Did they go on the wrong side? That seems to be a better shape, those little guys. Yeah, I like that. And then if that's trimmed back, I think that's pretty good. Could definitely do more fabric, but that's not bad. Now this beak, I'll just bring that down there. This beak seems to have a centerpiece as well. So let's see, what would we use in the center? A little bit of this. Pop of gold, maybe. Yes, I like that. There we go. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of stitching. I think I've got enough there to at least start stitching. I like that little bit of feathery. The top of that rayon or whatever it is very feathery. Now let's get some thread and let's at least get these few pieces invisible stitched down. And then I can trim around that eye. I think that'll really help to make it feel like we've got our shape right. I'll just pick him up very carefully. And I'm going to put a couple little stitches in here, because there's no pin. And I know I want to tuck in behind there probably some more fabric. So let's just get a few little tacking stitches down right through the centre of those eyebrows. Right, like so. Oops. Alrighty. I'm not sure what I'll do around the owl, as in background. Don't know. Let's just get this little guy in position. I could either stitch, camphor stitch. Where'd the other one go? Or layer in some extra fabrics. I'm having trouble finishing my... Oops, there goes my scissors hanging off my shirt. Not sure what we'll do for background. Probably should have done that first, but I just wanted to get into the owl. And I guess too, if I went too detailed on the background, sometimes it overpowers the actual piece. So in this scenario, I wanted to start with a little owl and then see where the background goes. Because I thought about laying down a piece of Tim Holtz fabric, something floral, something tree-like, and I just kept thinking, well, what if the owl sort of is enough? That's what sort of happened with the mushrooms, that in the end it was little pieces of doily that came in as my background, which I suspect might be the case again. Oh, come on. But we'll see. I'm just trying to knot this. Now, we might work the beak just with a few little... Oh my goodness, unthreaded. So what we'll do is my little sneaky knot. It's all frayed. This is really old cotton from Grandma's stash, and she's obviously wound on a heap of thread. I'd say the little bobbin had some thread on it, and she's wound it onto the reel. Because every so often a piece will come off, then it's already cut. Your beak's a bit wonky, young fella, but that's okay. He's not precise, this little guy. He's a wonky little owl. I had a thought too about using actual eyes. I grabbed my container, it's just sitting here to the side. I'm pretty sure I've got like some teddy bear eyes. And I thought maybe if there was some black eyes, or I don't know, and putting them in there. I have a very good thick spine, a wide spine on this little journal, so I can be a little bit creative with my depth, I guess. Now I have a branch I've sketched in there, so I might just come back a bit from the edge of everything. Pepper's not happy. She's behind a fence and she can't be with Bandit on the actual fence line where a walker can be annoyed by her. I put her behind a little garden fence back from the edge. So she's giving me a little yip. That has missed that edge, but I don't think it's too much of a trouble. Slight design detail. Maybe I could do furry eyes. I have some braid. Maybe I'll make his eyes quite puffy. Use a trim to get a circular. So there you go. I was going to stitch the eyes as per the previous one, but that's not looking like it's going to happen. It's always the way. We'll see. Some fringing or something. That would help balance out big black button eyes if I did go down that teddy bear eye idea. Let's get rid of that pin. I could layer more fabric in there, but that's a good start. Let's just get some little stitches here and there. Another one there. That'll get trimmed, so I'll stay back from that edge a little bit. Okay. That's not going anywhere. So I guess the question is, do we add more fabric at this stage or do we leave it at that? I don't mind that. That's it so far. Definitely needs something more for his top of his head. Might do a little piece of that. That's Pepper. Can you hear her? She's going, yip. Just say, Mum. Yeah, I like that. We could do with something else up there a little bit softer in colour. Maybe I'll go back to that music. Can we get... What if we would use fringing? I'm thinking eyelash yarn, but then I just saw this. I like that. So that's off of this, and it's been severely frayed. Oh, I like that. I only need a little bit. And can I create it again on the other side? Let that trim down into there. Where's the other piece? Let's have a little frayed edge here. Do we want the frayed to the outside? I think so. Don't even mind that size. So we want the frayed edge this side. Can we pull it off? Yes, we can. And we can shape that. So let's get that onto there and see if we can create a duplicate. Same shape, yep. It's too long, but that's okay. How'd we go? That's the original, and this is the second one, so we need a bit better shape on that. Oh, you're a fancy little fellow, aren't you? I'll just bring it down a little bit. What if it comes right into his... He's really getting that owl. That owl look now. We bring this guy right down. Whoops. We bring that right in and not have a gap there. Yes. Oh, I love him. Let's stitch that before that gets too far out of my, like it starts wriggling around. Just a couple little stitches in there later might help build it up as well. There's my needle. I don't know how many times I've grabbed this box of scraps here and made something from it. I can see so many projects here. And it's handy to have when you're tidying up and you have these bits and I've got somewhere to throw them. I wouldn't mind going through it and dividing it out by colour and creating more boxes of scraps with colour, but I just haven't got around to it. Like a blue box with all the blues and all the reds. But then you know what that can do? It can narrow down your choices. Like suddenly you just got a blue box in front of you, where sometimes having random colours sit with other colours starts something. I don't know. How organised do we need to be? Sometimes random stuff, like look at that. Oh, yes. Yes, let's stitch that. That's the threads I just pulled off of that side. Let's stitch that in here as well. Let's get it. I don't know how we're going to do this. I might just look, stitch down what you're going to do first and then come back to that. Let's get some little stitches in here. Maybe that could be higher if that tucked in there. One thing at a time. Let's get that secured in there. Oh, don't go around there. Steady, steady. Let's go from this side. Let's work upside down. Been wanting to get in here for a day or so to do this little guy, and I just kept getting interrupted all the time. And then we had some friends come for lunch and there was a doggy swimming date. I thought today is the day. And I didn't know how I was going to do my owl. I just knew the design was just a classic that I could trust. There's some other birds in there that are just gorgeous that I might use for the next one. The Edith Holden tribute journal. It'll be just a similar sort of thing, you know, make them autumnal. So let's have a look at this threads we've got here. I'm thinking they could be twisted. Yeah. And the question is, do we bring that right down? Yeah. We'll stitch that into there. it works because it's the fibres from that tweedy fabric. I might just chuck a few stitches up the side there in case it goes straight, those little threads. Let's try and control it a little bit. Okay, and then we can bring you up. We'll iron out those black lines at the end. Real mustard coloured little bird, this guy. I think I'm happy with, oops, not enough of a stitch there to hold that. I think I'm happy with the feathers on the top of his head. Let's explore this eye idea. And we'll have a look through the teddy bear eyes and see if it's okay. Let's just stitch that. Oh, not that, sorry. Not stitch it. Okay. All right. So we still have a bit of plumage to work up here, but let's check his eyes out. This is my little container. I might just come up a little bit. Down the bottom here are some teddy bear bits. We were in this one the other day. This is where my little hat was, my squished hat that I didn't end up using. Look, I've got teddy bear noses. Not that I've ever made a teddy bear. Here, black eyes. What do you reckon? I need a back phone. I inherited some of these bits and pieces, so I'm not sure. I think that would work if we do use them. Are they big enough? I guess it depends what we do around the outside of the eyes. Let's just leave them for a moment. Now grab this container. See that trim in there? I thought that had potential. This here, even that's not bad. These are just yarns. Maybe some of them, you know, couched on. Maybe this could be the outer ring. That's interesting. Some of those types of things could go on. But this here, maybe something like that. Then where's that eye? And then the, oops, I didn't even thought about a yo-yo. And then that goes in the centre. I don't mind that. How would that go? Maybe we do. He's got this eyebrow. Let me zoom in a bit, guys. See, he's got those eyebrows. So whatever I put on needs to then have an eyebrow coming across the top of it. So maybe I do a double. Yeah, all right, I think we got something here. Let's get some needle and thread and see what we can do. And then if it's nice and furry, these little beady black eyes might just work. Oh my goodness. Let's get some thread happening here. And maybe this second yarn here, this bobbly looking yarn, could be a ring, the rings around the outside. So we have all these feathers in around the actual eye. That is cut off. Then I'm going to need something quite strong to be the eyebrow, as in thickness, I think, because by the time I get all this fur, well, feathers, not fur, So what's the story with this stuff? Okay, so it's twisting naturally, and it also has a stitch line in it. Whoops. Pick this up in a bag at a thrift store. So it's got a little stitch line to the top and is longer that side. So I might twist it and put it like that. Do we want it to be controlled or furry? Seems to want to twist naturally. Let's just see how we go. I'm out of shot. Let's get ourselves organised and couch this into position. And I think we'll do two laps. We'll go right around. It's naturally wanting to twist. It's got probably a bit of age on it, so let's just not force it. I think it'll make it look quite random, a bit like feathers. Bring it right up, because that eye is not very big, is it? And I think to make it work, it needs to be tight up on the eye. Oops. Oh, those feathers are going to be problematic. The more they catch, the more I'm going to end up breaking them down. Okay, so we're now back up to where that large eyebrow will be. A couple little stitches, then we'll come back and around again. Oh, this is great. I'm happy with this. Oops. So it just goes to show that when you're looking for designs to use and you've got some old embroidery books or some newish embroidery books. Oh, that's now gone around the wrong way. See, the moment I stop thinking, I start yapping. Yeah, so when you look at embroidery designs, just try and look past the fact that it's satin stitch, or you know, you can use the outline of an embroidery design just to give you a kick-off point for something. I guess when I look at books, all I see is, oh, that's a nice dragonfly, that's a nice, so it's a line drawing. It's a starting point for me. Okay, it's fiddly, but it's going to work. Just get this second row. Gosh, I hope I'm in camera, guys. I do apologise. Let's hope I'm in camera as you glance up to see how it's going. The rest of the time you're busy stitching yourself, just concentrating on your own work. I'm just going to push that back a bit to bring there we go. I think I completely missed. Having that stitched line in that is helping. Now I've got to end this. I wonder if I can get it underneath. All right, it's a text from my cousin that I haven't spoken to for a while. Oh, I love that. Talk about a feathery owl. Isn't that gorgeous, if I do say so myself? Yeah, that'll work. If I just put some extra stitches. Oh, now I've done it again. See, I forget where my needle I forget where my needle is, and I come up on top when I should be underneath. seriously. Alrighty. Done. Have I stitched? Nope. I thought I'd stitched in a piece of... Well, so much for doing embroidery on this little guy. At this point in time, it's looking very much just like collaged bits and bobs. Yeah, look at that. Talk about fancy. I think I've got future owl fur in my future. Look at that. I couldn't believe it. You know, and when I got that out of the bag at the op store, I was like, gosh, when will I ever use that? And I had to let it sit out for a bit too. It had a bit of a funky smell about it. Sort of like a chemical smell. I don't know if it had been... It's good now, but it was a bit whiffy. All right. Let's have a look. Where's the eyes gone? Yes. So did we do it? Put a little slit in there. Let's do it. What the hang? This is fabric. Okay. Push that through. Maybe. Don't want to cut too big of a hole because then you're like... Okay, now we need those feathers to bury his eye a little bit. So let's soften that. Where's the needle? That's it, up you come. Oh, isn't that just adorable? Standy's little feathers. Bury his eye just a little bit. Usually an owl's eye is pretty dominant and right at you. Yeah, I like that. Oh, now I need a back. I presume it's one of these little doodahs. Can we just find one that seems to fit, or how's this work? I think that'll fit. Do I force it down? Yeah, let's just do it. Do it. It's done. I might find a pair of pliers later and maybe I can nick some of that off. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. So I just want to fluff him up again. Yeah. Soften his eye a little bit. Now this stuff here, I thought was I could do a similar thing to create a feathery ring. I like that idea. That's not enough cotton to do what I wish to do, so let's try a bit more cotton. Eyelash yarn, that was the other thing that popped into the brain. Maybe I'll grab some of that before I get too carried away, because that would give me another layer of fluff. Let me just grab the container of eyelash yarn. It's just here. Oops, sliding doors go the other way. Oh, look what I just spotted. That container was sitting on top, and that there caught my eye. But I just don't know. Could that be his eyebrow? It's so big. What if we folded it to reduce it? Yes, yes, yes. Oh yeah, there's his eyebrow. Okay. That was random. What about eyelash yarn first? Let's have a look. See, even feather yarn. Oh, look at that one. that's enough. Autumnal. Golden. Okay. So we could, it's not sitting flat, my work, because of, could do something like that, or I like that better than that. Just stitch it in. I just love it. That's what do they call it? Yeah, is it eyelash? Feather yarn. Feather? Let's just get a couple little stitches in there. It's got a little base to it, so I'm just going to aim. I do like that, but this is a better match. It gives me more of a, so where are we going with this? We're going up to there. So we need to push it down a little bit as we stitch. Oh my goodness, he is shaping up to be just adorable, guys. Could even do a little line of pearl beads in there. A little extra detail. Might be lost. I think we can snip that there. Pepper. Just gives that little bit extra tufting. All right. There is design going up the back there, but I'm not going to worry about it, I don't think. I think I've got enough happening here. Now, the thing is, can I bring in some eyelash yarn underneath this? This is what I'm thinking, some of this, just to add another. Just tuck it in underneath, and then it would hang out. I think we can, but I'm wondering if we stitch, because I definitely want to use this for the rings. Maybe we stitch this first. It's unraveling. So even just little bits of, oh, look at that, it's unraveled. I'll just put it there. It just added another dimension to him. Or are we going to lose his shape? I need to twist it a little bit as I go. No, we'll get it tighter. We'll bring it in up here. We'll do 2 laps of it, like I did. Needle and thread twisted, guys. My goodness me. This fluffy stuff. Let's see what we can do. Let's get a few stitches into here. Oh, I should do a 3-dimensional one, hey? I need an owl pattern. Does anyone know a good owl? 3-dimensional owl that we can play with his feathers and face and use all these bits and pieces. This is the beauty of doing these little stitchery projects. It's a good way of sampling things. So if you did come across, say, an owl pattern, you can go back to a 2-dimensional piece like this and apply it to a 3-dimensional piece. Oh, look at you. There'd have to be a 3-dimensional owl out there somewhere, wouldn't there? Has Leslie made one? Leslie from Henrik & Co. Don't know if she has. Let's have a look. The stump of the eye. He's catching my thread. I might just tilt the camera. I'm leaning away from myself. Let me just tilt the camera back to me a little bit so that my arms can rest here and you're in full camera. There we go. I think what I'll end up doing is just pushing more and more of this yarn to fill the rest of this eye area. One more stitch there. And then we'll bring that into there. Just slowly pull it back. It'll be quite thick and fluffy. Looks like it'll be 3 laps. And then I think we might look at what's next. Gee, we're getting close to pulling this together. Haven't done anything for the branch for him to sit on. I'm caught on the shank of that. Don't tell me I've done it a few times. Seriously. I have to fix that up. That's really helped bring the eye forward, that chunky thread. And we'll get up here, and I think we'll be doing a U-turn again and doing another lap around. I feel like I could drop some beads in there, you know. Let's get it. Maybe we can peek it up to there. No. Stay back down there. Forget about that line. We don't need it. I think we've got enough pointy feathers at the top of his head with all of this. Once we get back around, we'll have a look at that eyelash yarn and decide whether we can squeeze a little more of that in. Gee, I'm glad I didn't trim those feathers. You know how I said they were too high? I do need to shape this a little bit. It looks a little bit out of whack. We can bring that, it's caught, that shank's problematic. Probably stitch the eye in, the eye, surround of the eye, then do your shank. Would probably have been a better. Now I've got a bit of a gap happening there. Wonder if that's an opportunity for a little bit of lace. A little detail. Just secure this end. See how we've got a bit of a gap there? Maybe a few extra stitches. I might let that hang because all right. Oh, hello. We've got quite a big furry head on you. We'll come back to the lace, but before we do go too far, I'm just thinking we could do something with this. And tuck some fibres in there just to get a few extra bits. Or is it not needed? I don't think it's needed. Oh, it does look cool. I don't think it's needed. All right, we'll leave that for now. Lace. Where's a bucket of lace? Here we go. Let's see if we can find something that can sit. Tatting. No, tatting. Put that away. Back in there, guys. Just going to grab my tatting. All right. My little container of tatting. There'd have to be something in here that is feathery. That one's got potential. That one. So it gives us that droplet look. There's some little pieces of lace. All right, let's have a look. That's enough. Like that shape. If I was to cut 3 out, they would work. Might just shape that little shoulder feather. Yeah. Just take that off of there and just shape that there. That's better. I don't think that's the right size. What about a bit of this? So we've got a lovely little shape there. Oh, I like that. I like that under his beak. Can I bring that beak up onto it? Let's take that little one out. Put that away. Who's here? Yes, there we go. Oh, doesn't solve the gap problem, but I do like it. So what are we going to do for the gap? We can bring that beak up and over that too. So I would need to release, maybe it can just go higher. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I need to release the stitch that I put in under that beak very carefully without fraying the tip of that. Got it. Okay, so our beak's up. Let's bring that right up there. And then the beak comes down. Yep, that's it. That's hiding the gap. And then all I've got to do is just Pop a few well-placed little stitches here. He's got a little tatting chest. In hindsight, that piece of fabric there could have been a little bit bigger. You can always trim it off, going that little bit extra in size. Gives you wriggle room, doesn't it? But seriously, no one's going to notice that that's a peeking through calico there. Let's put another stitch back into that nose. I might even put a little bit of art glitter glue on the edge of that fabric, that beak, just to ensure that it doesn't break down. Won't hurt. There's probably a better system of layering that I could have used here. I've sort of shot all over the place, but it's worked. Okay. Last few little, I feel like that beak needs to sit on top of that. It looks odd. Tuck that under. Tuck that under. Get that beak line back. It's very dominant. It's better. All right. Now, that goes under there. Yep. Now, I think that's pretty good. There's not much missing, I think, on that side. So it'll just be hit repeat over here. Now I'm just wondering about my branch. What are we going to sit him on? Need something chocolate brown or... Gosh, I've got a mess here. It's all good. All right. We got any fabric here we haven't used that's earthy? Could I start cleaning up here? I probably could. Where's my container? All right, let's get another shank out for the back of the eye. Pretty sure I used one of those. All right, so that can now be put away. Container. That belongs in with the laces, otherwise I'll never see it again. Let's move a little owl out of the way. Tatting can go over there and start putting it back in and see if anything earthy, branch-like music. Don't mind that and that. Keep, oh, hello. Might be the wrong type of brown, but nothing. Oh, a bit of camphor quilt. Now that's interesting. Keep that. I know where there's more of that. Maybe that could... Don't mind this fabric either. I've used it already in the other... Oh, look, a little bit. Oh my goodness, guys. Does this happen to you guys when you upend a container of bits and pieces? Some leaves, potentially. All right, so what have we got left other than rubbish. Got a bit of fabric. Don't need that. Maybe a leaf. That can all go away. All right. So we got that, and here he is. All right, so what are we going to do? We can rule out the camphor quilt, but boy, if that was in a green, it's just not quite the right colours, but it's so pretty. I haven't played with my camphor quilt for a while. Leave that over there. I just need to look at it for a bit. This. Now I use this in the Edith quilt, the Edith book. Yeah, here. Such a pretty fabric. That came from Spotlight. And Tracy, who was at my Harvey Bay retreat, Aussie Tracy, there were two Tracys, one from New Zealand and one from Australia. She gave me a piece of it and she got it from Spotlight. I'm wondering if we could do something with it. And actually, I just love the colours. What if we were to fussy cut out those flowers and build them in around? Like he's sitting, oh yeah, I like the idea of that. But still, do we need some form of tree? I think we do. Music. He's singing. So if I did a music note branch and then fussy cut out flowers, I'm liking that. This to me is the wrong colour, so let's put that away. Where's the container? This is not bad. Could bring tatting in. Like I like that little combination there, but not with the green background. I'm going to be brave and cut out a bit of a branch here. Let's see, how long do we need it? He's hooting in the distance. I can't see you, dude, but I know you're there. So let's give him music note tree to sit on. Just do a rough. Slide that under there. Take a bit of that out. I have other music note fabric, but I'm thinking we can make it work. Let's get that under your tush. All right, there he is. He's singing. He's singing to me in the dark. That's what we're going to do. We've got a hooting owl, and I think we will build up flowers around him. So, do we want green? Let's fussy cut this out with a little bit of green. This is going to be a long video, but I don't care. It can take 2 days to upload if it has to. I don't want to stop. I just want to keep going. Let's have a go at collaging in some big chunky flowers around him. They're very oversized compared to him, but that's okay. I like the fact that he's camouflaged. See, I can't see him. He's camouflaged, the little sneaky bugger. So we're going to camouflage him a little bit and surround him with some flowers. Thank you, Tracy, for this fabric. It's beautiful. I need to swing into Spotlight, actually, and pick up some bed linen for my brother, and I might see if I can find this, because I think I would like a chunk of it to be in my stash, because I like the looseness of these flowers. I like the colour tone of them. if we can get them a little bit squunched up, you know, so they're like tucking in around him. There's another one. That's the same as that guy, but that's all right. I might take this little edged one here. I'll take the lot. Here comes the fudge. Hey, Fudgy. All right, this one's got a straight edge on it, which is good for sides of. So, oh, isn't that gorgeous? Does cover him a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Too similar. Maybe we bring it from the top down. Yeah, that looks good there. There's another one here, also with a bit of a straight edge. I'll have to send a photo of this to Tia and see if she can track down the name of the fabric, because my Spotlight at Harvey Bay might not be a big enough store. I even love the blue in there. Would never have thought to put blue with that green. So we've got another edge. Yeah, like that. What else? Another little flower there. That's the same as that guy. That might be enough. There's this little fellow here on this edge. Let's nibble him out. So by taking the leaves with this piece, it sort of all works, and it's given me foliage. Alrighty. I think that would be enough. That leaf is very big and dominant. I think the leaf's got to go. It's too powerful. Might be good to tuck in somewhere. Yeah, like that. And maybe it comes in under there, like that. That's better. There we go. Done. Oh, tatting. I've only got the one. No, put it away. That's a good start. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll just pop a few pins around. Get those little... I think too this edge hangs out of the journal, so I need to double check its placement. I'll be able to do a bit of stitching into the centre of those flowers just to embellish them somewhat. I'll do a bit of a running stitch, I think, around my branch, my little hoot. Need to finish his eye, so I don't even mind that fabric still. But I don't think I need it. Nope, put it away. Leave the camphor quilt out. I want to look at that for a bit. All right, And I need to track down some more of that because I have a feeling those flowers are just going to be handy to have. So I've got a bit of tulle. Look at that. Bit of green, pale, mossy coloured green tulle. That'd be cool in the centre of those flowers. I'll just pin it there. I don't know if I've got any more of that. It's a random scrap here. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. I think we have this guy. Actually, no, let's go to the journal and check our diameters of our page, our perimeters. This is a long video. Couldn't stop, had to keep going. That's where you are going, my friend, because it's got quite a, let me zoom back up. Yeah, that works. That's okay, I don't need anything extra. Got a little bit of lace popping over the top from the previous page. You can see a red mushroom. Might have to pull it over just a fraction. Don't want to have a red mushroom peeking through. Maybe I've got to put some lace in this side. Yeah, something maybe down there. It's not necessary, but if it bugs me. There we go. Little owl is in the journal. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. You guys have, oh, look, I just spotted this. This is a little owl from Rachel. Tag. It's very soft. Don't want it to get damaged. Might work into the next journal. Colours are great, aren't they? Where? Doesn't matter. Decision another day. All right. I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me. That was fun. I think we'll be doing a similar style owl, but maybe in a different colour palette in the Edith journal. We'll see. All right, guys. Look after yourselves. Bye.